Queen Mother Moore.
Those of us who are not behind these walls are captured.
We were able to communicate. We were able to feel each other and to know each other because we knew ourselves.
Well, the struggle is not a new one, because I have been fighting all my life against this super oppression of our people. My grandfather was lynched. He was tied to a wagon and his body was drawn through the streets with his head bobbing up all over the rough streets. He was shot. His wife, my grandmother, was driven from her home with her little children, which one of whom was my mother. They had to leave all their belongings. This has been our life. It was my privilege to have known the Honorable Marcus Garvey, and today I stand here and doubly proud to know that our brother leaders like Les Campbell and all the others are training the children in the spirit of Marcus Garvey. When Marcus Garvey came on the scene, we were confronted in the South with all of these oppressions and lynchings, with the sheriff riding into the houses on horseback, whipping the people. It was just common occurrence to see people driven off of their land they had worked hard for, so that Marcus Garvey came at a time that we needed him, at a time when all of our people are beginning to despise themselves for being black, where we had been taught that we were black because we were cursed. Marcus Garvey is the one that taught us from the very beginning, black is beautiful. It's beautiful to be black. He taught us our history. Marcus Garvey taught us about Africa. He taught us about the great people of Africa, the great culture that we had in Africa. He taught us about the wealth of Africa. He taught us how the white people were living off of our wealth. He taught us about the gold mines and the diamond mines and the great forests, the fine animals and all of the wealth that we have, the great resources in the land. Marcus Garvey taught us what they had robbed from us. And to speak in terms of robbery, I want our young brothers here who has been incarcerated here for perhaps in a very small way, taking back that which was taken from us, because you couldn't steal, brothers. You can't steal. You can't steal from a white man. All you can do is take back from him. That's all you can do. Because everything that he's got, everything the white man has, everything, he stole it from you. Everything. He stole it from you. You are not the criminals. You're not the criminals. I'd like to ask you, have you stolen anybody's heritage? Have you stolen children from their mothers and sold them on the slave block? Have you stolen wealth from the lands? And have you stolen whole countries? I want to show you, you haven't been stealing. No, you haven't been stealing. I want to tell you, have you taken mothers and strung them up by their heels and took their knives and slit their bellies so that the unborn babies could fall to the ground, and then took your heel and crushed that baby in the ground? Brothers, you are not murderers. You're never murdered. True, some of you have killed, but you're not murderers. You're not murderers. No. Have you dropped bombs on people and killed whole countries of people? Have you done that, brothers? Nuh-uh. Some of you have tried in a small way to imitate these gangsters, but you haven't. No, you're not the gangsters. Brothers, we came here to tell you to come home to us. We want you. We came here to invite you and to let you know that you're not alone, to let you know that you have brothers and sisters who are waiting for you, who are fighting for your return, and who are preparing places to receive you. And we don't want you to feel rejected. You've been rejected out of the man's society, but you're not rejected out of black society. You see? Some of you believe that those of us in the South, and I came from way, way, way south, but some of you believe that we were cowards down there. I want to give you a little example of the story of Marcus Garvey. I want to tell you something that nobody else could tell you. They haven't lived long enough to be here today to experience this, to tell you, those who were there. Down in New Orleans, when the police told Marcus Garvey he couldn't speak to us and prevented him from coming to speak to us one night, we, of course, went in delegations and everything and raised such a ruckus that they had to let Marcus Garvey speak to us the next night. But when we went, I want you to hear me, when we went determined that nothing would stop Marcus Garvey from speaking to us. Now, how do you do that? How do you go determined to keep the powers that be from preventing your leader from speaking to you? How do you do that? Well, I'll tell you how we did it. Every one of us, including myself, went armed. We went armed. I had 2 guns on me. I had one in my bosom and one in my pocketbook. Little 38 specials. Pearl handle. I'll never forget my little pearl handle gun. You think you're bad, huh? Some of you think you're bad. We went, brothers and sisters, do you think we went there with a round of ammunition? No. We went with handbags of ammunition. Everybody had handbags of ammunition. We used to call them satchels. Ammunition. Now, when the police came in, they filed in that hall and they lined up against all the sides of the benches, came to the front, lined up the side of the rostrum, lined up the other sides, lined the back. When Garvey came in, we was on benches, just like you sitting now in Longshoreman Hall. We stood up, you know, and applauded him. Garvey said, "My friends, I wish to apologize to you for not speaking to you tonight, but the reason I didn't speak to you is because the mayor of the city of New Orleans permitted himself to be used as a stooge by the police department to keep me from speaking." When he said that, the police jumped up on the rostrum and said, "I'll run you in." When he did that, everybody stood on the benches. All of the smitten westerns, the blue steels, 44s came out. Everybody's gun came out. And this is what they said: "Speak, Garvey, speak. Speak, God, with the guns in their hand. Speak, Garvey, speak." And Garvey said, as I was saying. I know, young people, you think everything over 30 is old. I know you. You think all of us in the South are cowards. No, no, no. The kind of thing they did to us, I'm going to tell you. First of all, they got us one by one when they did their lynching. They got us in the prisons, in their custody, most of the time. You understand how they took us out and lynched us, or way into the nighttime, or all alone, when a whole group of them would come and they'd lynch a brother. But not because they were brave and we were weak. They developed a science. They developed a strategy. They developed to the point where they made us. They took us as Africans. They captured you. When they captured you, you were an African. They developed to the point where they learned how to de-Africanize you and turn you into a Negro. Make you a Negro. This is what they did with you, African. They made you into a Negro. Now, many of you don't understand how this is done, how you can take a human being or an animal and denature it to the point where it no longer knows itself. Well, let me give you an example. The example I always use about the circus and the lion. You know a lion is ferocious. You know what a lion will do as long as he knows he's a lion, huh? But now you tame that lion. Get that lion and tame him. You see a little white girl come out on the platform with her little bikini and a whip in her hand, huh? And she pops her whip. And don't that great big old beast that looks like a lion, roars like a lion, and may smell like one, but he'll get up on a stool, won't he? And he purrs like a kitten, huh? He purrs like a kitten. Oh, yes, he does, unless you haven't experienced that. Then she takes her whip again, and she pops it, and that thing gets down. He opens his big jaw. He lies down, his big jaw. She takes her little old head, stringy hair and all, and she sticks her head in its mouth. And you know that old fool lets her pull it out again? 2 minutes. All right, I understand I have 2 minutes. But you've been de-Africanized and you're a Negro. There's never enough time for us to really get education unless all of you come to the East where we can take all the time we want because nobody will pull the lights out on us. Does everybody know that name, the East? Say the East. The East. The East. It's in Brooklyn. You'll find it. You'll find it. These. Well, I'll conclude with singing my song to you, since you did sing patriotic songs here today, and I feel patriotic to you. All right. This country, 'tis to me a land of misery, for which they sing, a land that they stole with pride, for which their fathers died. But from every mountainside, justice fails to ring. Black fathers died here too, to make it safe for you. Black mothers suckle their young in this land where we hung from trees for refusing to bend our knees. But now we've mastered master's master keys. Our liberty will be wrong. Da 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 da.